I am super excited to show you a new feature recently added to the BibFile Manager tool. This new feature allows one to search their BibFile library for tagged topics in a straightforward and visually pleasing manner. But most importantly, the feature allows a set of complicated search criteria to be applied in a search query in an easy way. If you recall from the previous video on BibFile Manager, the original way to conduct searches was by going to the Tag Search tab and then using the search boxes along the top here. For now, I will leave these search boxes intact, but I promise you that you will never want to use these boxes again once you've gotten a taste of the new search tool. To use the new search tool, all you have to do is just go to the Library Functions menu at the top and then select Search for Topics. Once the pop-up window is rendered, you will see several items scattered across the screen. The first thing to do is to click the Help button in the top center of the page. That button will toggle the Help screen on and off. The Help screen tells you everything you need to know about how to use this tool should you forget anything. Important note, the Help box can be dragged and resized if it does not render optimally on your browser window. The first thing to do is to select some topics to search for. Go to the Topic Selection menu. You can expand this box by clicking on Details. You can also resize the box and move the box around. All that you have to do here is check the boxes of all the topics that you want to conduct a search on. As you check the boxes, you might notice that the words start appearing in the Search Query box. Once you're finished checking all the boxes in the Topic Selection menu, go to the Search Query box. And this box can also be moved around and it can be expanded if you need it to be resized. Hit the button Make Search Plot. And you may need to move or resize the Topic Selection menu to get it out of your way. The search topics that you selected were used to make this plot called an upset plot. The upset plot is a type of Venn diagram, but it's way better because unlike a Venn diagram, one is not limited to a simple set of search criteria. With a Venn diagram, if you had more than 6 different search topics, it'd be very difficult to illustrate the results. But with an upset plot, one is not limited to the number of topics for the search. The bars represent the different regions of overlap that would be in a Venn diagram. And the specific regions of overlap are indicated by the colored circles at the bottom of each bar. The topics corresponding to the colored circles are those involved in the particular overlap region. So for example, if all of the circles are colored, we don't have any of those examples here, then the region would be the center of the Venn diagram where all the topics overlap. If only one circle is colored, such as these examples here, then that region is where there was only that one topic and no overlap with any of the other topics. And then everything else is between those two extremes. Click on a bar to see what items fell inside that region of overlap. The list will appear in the search results box as either the title of a paper or the comment itself, whose list of tags includes the specified combination of topics. So let's click on this bar here, and we see that only one paper met the criteria of all of these topics being included amongst its tags. And we can see the paper here. So the title of the paper is given here. And then if we were to click on this hyperlink, it would actually take us to the PDF file. Let's try another. That's another paper. And there were two papers that qualified for this set of criteria. Two papers there. And you might note that these are comments and not papers. And I know that because a page number appears at the right-hand side, indicating where that comment is located in the paper. So typically the comment consists of a quote straight from the paper, and then at the very end of that quote would be a user inputted comment if provided. Note that you can resize these boxes as you need to do so in order to be able to see the full quote. So if we were to click on the hyperlink and then go to page 3 in the PDF, we would be able to see this quote. You can copy paste the quotes. For example, if you wanted to make a separate document of these quotes to refer to them as you're writing your paper or proposal or whatever, you can easily do so. One can create even more complicated search queries. For example, one can combine multiple topics on a single line. The set of multiple topics essentially becomes a single circle in a Venn diagram, for which only those papers or comments whose tags include all of the topics on that line would be selected to represent that new multi-topic category. Let's make this first line even more complicated. Okay, let's see what the plot looks like. So apparently our very first category had no qualifying papers or comments, so that category doesn't even appear. There were some papers or comments that were found that satisfied the second line, where the word fossil group and halo had to be included amongst the tagged list. There were, in fact, just one paper that qualified. If we decouple the effective radius from the stellar population and halo, let's see if that helped make more possibilities. And in fact, it did. You can see that the effective radius now has one paper. But apparently that paper was not also tagged with both stellar population and halo, which is why this paper was excluded when we combined all three of those. One can also exclude certain topics. Let's say that we would like to find all papers dealing with halos, but we don't want halos that are associated with X-ray data. So by placing a negative sign in front of X-ray, we can find all halos that are associated with something other than X-ray. Let's see if such a thing exists in our current library. Since this category does in fact appear in our list here, it looks like there were some papers that satisfied that criteria. This paper and these two papers also include halos but no X-ray, as well as this particular comment. We are now at the end of this tutorial. I hope that you enjoyed this new search tool as much as I do. Thanks for your attention and interest in BibFile Manager.